Welcome, November 30th. How is everybody? We've got a much different surf report for today. Thank goodness. We're going to start with the DreamBot. And we have two memes, one much bigger than the other. The red meme is Venus. Chant, pleasant court. Court is not a legal court. It's courting. It's getting to know the other person, that kind of thing. Band, rose, hanging. Spend is in finance is all a part of Venus. So, and then people. And then Mercury is in the blue. Study, tells, communication, experiment, says. So communication and learning and that kind of thing. Um, Beach somewhere theme. I'm not sure why I had that on there. I must have forgotten to take that out. All right. Here is the astrology. There's a lot of words in here. But basically, you have the moon going into Virgo, but we've been talking about this opposition, and the reason why we forego pretty much everything else is because it's heavy in the DreamBot. We're triangulating. And so Venus opposition to Uranus, we have been talking about it, but it frustrates the relationships. It causes unexpected changes to the relationships. Maybe people say things that they didn't mean to say. It might get tempered and aggressive. The opposition is not harmonious. But we do have a harmonious aspect with Mercury, quincunx to Uranus. So it's all about Uranus today. And this was a really interesting aspect with Mercury. It's waking people up. It's almost like being in an Aquarius. It's waking people up, unique viewpoints, radical new concepts. But the only caveat, Mercury is in retrograde, so these radical new concepts might be just a regurgitation of the past, just for whatever reason we didn't see it before. So it is still a new way of seeing things, maybe a new way of seeing the past. Maybe we get new evidence of some sort of archaeology, and so it's in the past, but we get new insights about how the past really was, that kind of thing. The numerology is all about self-expression, creative, and pursuing your passions. That's going to come back later. All right, ready to surf this? Let's do it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And like we're doing now, we're going to our focal point of the influence, which today is Uranus, all about change. And we enter that into the sidereal zodiac to see where we need to be in alignment with the astrology, and that happens to be Aries. And we get a little double dose of Aries actually, because it's part of the influence here in the tropical, but it's in reality very much in Aries in the sidereal. So we get a double whammy of Aries, and Aries becomes the antidote for the change. What is Uranus all about? It's about the unexpected. It's about change. It's about you're having to adapt. It's neither good nor bad. How many times do we have to say this? Change is not bad. In fact, if you want a healthier brain, you're going to have to make it a habit of changing. As we get older, we typically lose brain material because we get into these ruts. It's just brain decay because we're not using the brain. Of course, we're not feeding the brain either. Most of us aren't eating the right kind of fats and the right nutrients. But regardless, We're getting more and more rigid, more and more routined in life in general, and that just naturally loses brain decay. So the good side of change is that it keeps your brain healthy. We can go do a whole seminar on that, and other people have. But in today's talk, Aries is the antidote because relationships, finance, communication, even the past, unexpected turns, unexpected information, and Aries aids you. How does Aries aid us? Well, they're really good with spontaneousness. Now there is a downside to Aries because we I've got to take these. It's kind of hard listening to myself in an echo. The audio was spot on, but now it's starting to get a little off. Aries aids you in because it's very adaptable, and Aries does like to go go go. It's got the fire behind it. It tends to be impulsive, spontaneous, and that's also a downside risk. But that impulsiveness, they're practiced. They're good at, or maybe many of them tend to be better at adapting, and that's what we need to do today. We need to be good at adapting, openness. Now, here's the other thing with Aries: they're not going to take any crap. And so, if the relationship, if someone does something that destroys the relationship, it's not like we're all that codependent as Aries, and so good boundaries get put up. And so these kinds of things are going to be pretty healthy for the situation today, the adaptability, but also remember the downside. Risky impulsiveness. The big thing with Aries and change is they can tend to lose their identity, like lose their sense of self in that, and that's a big risk. And the way that you reduce that is just to become more mindful, allow change to happen. It's in the resistance, basically, that you're going to lose that self. And then being too ambitious, that can be a factor too. So you're starting to go out and doing something, say for example, because you're charging ahead and you've got to make all these changes, and now you've got too many plates spinning. So all right, go out and harness your Aries energy, and and have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for being here, everybody.